He can give legal conclusions then. He's testified
Next question. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by RidleyReport.com. That news releases I am the bomb.
In this particular factual situation, no.
Oh. Okay. Before we were both pulled over to the side of the road, did you witness any person in any kind of danger or anyone breach the peace?
The rate of speed you were going and the maneuver of passing another vehicle.
Who did you witness that was in imminent danger at that point?
Anyone crossing the street at that time?
Was there anybody crossing the street when I did that?
I don't know.
So you don't know if there's anybody crossing the street at that time, but you said somebody was in imminent danger.
I object for the following reasons. The charge he's questioning right now is illegal passing. It's not necessary for the state to prove that there's somebody crossing the road at that point. It's either a pass maneuver that's illegal or it isn't.
So did you? So you ever say that there was really nobody, any particular person, in imminent danger at the time? Did you put your emergency lights on to alert me to your presence?
When I caught up to you, yes.
Okay. What emergency was there at the time?
Overhead lights.
I'm sorry?
Overhead lights.
That's overhead lights constitutes an emergency?
To stop you?
An emergency. Is that an emergency? Having no headlights?
It's a miscommunication here. He's asking you, I think he thought you meant what kind of emergency lights that you had.
No, I said, asking if he put his emergency lights on to alert me to his presence. He said yes, and I asked, well, you put your emergency lights on. What emergency was there at this particular point in time?
You're driving, your speed, and improper passing.
This was an emergency.
He just said yes.
Can you explain how my speed, how fast was I going over the speed limit or whatever you're saying, about how fast?
Guessing?
Yeah, just a guess.
About 40.
About 40 miles an hour over the speed limit.
No, you were doing about 40.
In what?
Speed limit is 25.
Okay, and that, in your opinion, would give way to an emergency?
I would, yes. God forbid there's someone crossing the street or a vehicle trying to make it the speed you're going is above the speed limit.
Okay. And again, you were the man who wrote these tickets, right?
Yes, I issued these tickets.
Okay. Do these tickets represent a valid cause of action?
What?
A valid cause of action. Are they a valid cause of action? Yes. Right.
Yes.
Okay, and if these tickets didn't represent a valid cause of action, would there be any case before the court today? If they didn't?
If I tell you you didn't break these laws?
If there was no valid cause of action, would there be a valid case before the court today? If there was no valid cause of action?
I don't understand what you're asking me.
I'm asking, well, you said that they represented a valid cause of action. You've already testified that. Well, are you going to testify? You could take the stand.
I am saying they represent tickets that were issued to you, the facts of which don't seem to concern you.
That's testimony. If you want to testify, you could take the stand, sir. Well, this is the heart of the matter. Do these tickets represent a valid cause of action? You said yes, correct?
I stated these are the laws I believe you've broken. Yes.
Okay, well, that's non-responsive. It's either yes or no. Do they represent a valid cause of action?
I don't understand the question. He doesn't apparently understand the question.
He doesn't. Okay.
He's indicated that he thought you broke the statutory requirements here, issued the 5 or 6.
Well, a valid cause of action would be the reason for judicial action to bring it into a court. So I'm asking if these represent a valid cause of action, and it's just a yes or no question.
Do you understand the question?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Okay, well, the valid cause, for any court to have any jurisdiction over this.
You got to ask a question. You can't make a speech.
Okay. How many elements are in a valid cause of action?
What does that mean? How many elements are in a valid cause of action? What does that mean?
Objection. Mr. Novak, let's move ahead. Do you have any factual, any
Okay.
cross-examination as to the facts?
Sure. I move that the court take judicial notice that the Supreme Court has held that there are two elements in a valid cause of action. Those being,
This is cross-examination, not summation.
I'm making judicial
It's not
notice.
motion time either.
Well, you weren't here for motion time. The Supreme Court has held that there are two elements to a valid cause of action. Now, quote, the injury must be, for example, distinct and palpable.
We've heard this before.
For the record.
I'm not buying your...
Okay, well, for the record. And not abstract or conjectural or hypothetical. The injury must be fairly traceable to the challenged action, and relief from the injury must be likely to follow from a favorable decision. That's Allen versus Wright, 468 U.S. 737 in 1984. Now, can you tell me where on these tickets is it distinct and palpable?
Doesn't apply to this particular procedure.
So you're saying that, for the record, there needs to be no cause of action for a court to bring somebody in for a charge. Instead, the determination here.
There has to be a factual allegation that's been set forth here.
Well, it's based upon law.
And based
correct?
upon a statutory determination.
That's so a legal conclusion, in other words. He's made a legal conclusion that he witnessed me violate these statutes. Is that not a legal
Made a
conclusion?
factual determination.
Witnessing me violate these statutes, that's a legal conclusion, correct, for the record?
He has made a factual allegation here that you violated statutes.
That's
of the state of
objection.
New
I mean, that's a legal conclusion. That's not a factual
I'm
statement.
here to make a legal conclusion.
Okay, well, for the record, objection. That's a legal
Are you
conclusion.
going to ask questions on cross-examinations? If not, I'm about...
Well, yes, I'm asking these questions. So, again, as the Supreme Court has held, okay, where on these tickets...
It's not applicable to this particular set of circumstances and summonses.
Well, a cause of action for any court is the reason...
Cause of action. They are summonses, not qualified to answer questions that deal with civil and criminal.
So, just to make it clear for the record, he's not competent to answer questions related to giving legal conclusions. Is that...
That's not what I'm saying.
I'm not understanding that.
Why don't you step back and ask some more questions, okay? I'm not going to go much further. So ask some questions.
Well, it's important to, you sustained a few objections related to this, so I'm just asking.
If you have any questions about what took place that day.
This is all relevant to what has taken place. Are these tickets here that you wrote me consistent with the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of New Jersey?
The New Jersey statutes, which explain proper and improper judgment, are directed to that, not to the Constitution of the United States, which has...
Do they have to be consistent with the Constitution to be valid?
These cases have over and over again...
That's a non-responsive... That's non-responsive.
I'm not trying to be responsive to you. I'm trying to...
I could see that.
Well, I'm trying to explain something to you. You're asking the same questions over and over again, but nothing to the facts of the case. This is cross-examination.
Well, all this is his legal conclusions, and that's already on the record. He already stated that these represent your
legal... That's an argument, sir. It is not a question.
Sir, I direct the judge's attention to the beginning of the cross-examination where I asked him, it's your written testimony here that you witnessed me violate these statutes, correct? So you're the man who wrote these tickets, and these are your legal conclusions. He already testified that, yes, these are his legal conclusions. So is he qualified to give legal conclusions?
You have any other questions?
No, I have quite a few, but I just want to make it clear for the record. Is he or not qualified to give legal conclusions?
We're going around in a big circle.
It's just a yes or no.
Would you please just be quiet?
Go ahead.
The officer's job, his duty, is to enforce laws. In order to do that, he must write summonses when he sees, in his view, violations.
That's a legal conclusion. Objection.
No, the legal conclusion means what? The case is heard. The reason we're in court is because his evidence, which is given orally from this stand, will be evaluated by the judge who will make a decision. Okay? You seem to fail to understand that we're not in a vacuum here. He's writing a summons against you.
Right, and these
Criminal
summons,
action.
sir, and these summons represents his legal conclusions, correct?
It represents
yes or no?
testimony. It's how it's done.
Okay, so this testimony or representation, he already testified that these are representations of his legal conclusions. That's on the record. That's on the record.
Next question.
Okay, so he can give legal conclusions then. He's testified
Next
that.
question. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Is this what happens to you when you try to write or distribute a news release? Then I beg you, end the suffering. Deploy instead the man who got Mike Fisher's outlaw manicure front page coverage in nearly every New Hampshire media outlet. Unleash the writing force that put the Free State Project on CNN and Russell Canning on the front page of Dig. You know where to find this force. You are staring at it. Email it. Email me at RidleyReport.com. And let's get to work. RidleyReport.com. At news releases, I am the bomb.